Welcome into the Michigan Football Report, folks. It is Monday. I'm going to start the show by just reminding you, I'm not forgetting Jim Harbaugh watching this at your home office. You're not at Schembecker Hall. Get your focus on beating Ohio State against Michigan staff, because everyone's seen on Twitter, I've had to shame the staff into doing their jobs in recruiting. I'm not forgetting. You as fans, let's not forget. And you coaches, you don't forget. You see the clock there, 239 days, 20 hours, 43 minutes until game time against those hated Ohio State Buckeyes down in the snake pit of Columbus. Got our Michigan football mailbag here on a Monday. Let's take it to the first question coming from Johnny Sposita at JS Sposita 97, J Sposita 97. You in recruiting versus OSU. Been seeing a lot of OSU news, not a lot of big Michigan names, and that is the story of 2020 so far. After the bowl games, after Ohio State lost their college football playoff, after Michigan lost to Alabama, Ohio State has been on a tear, and since the Big C has taken over our world, it's been even worse. Ohio State with 5 big-time commits in the last 2 weeks, 4 of them in the top 125 players in the country, including Friday night, a 5-star running back, Trayvon Henderson, out of Virginia. They got the number 1 recruiting class in the country, and it's by a mile at this point over those, basically their other rival, the Clemson Tigers. Got a Clemson Tiger, Alicia, behind the scenes at her palatial estate up the road. I'm at mine, Jamestown Studios. See the top 10, Wisconsin, Notre Dame, Texas, Oregon, and Iowa. Michigan at 17 in this 2021 class. Just see where they rank against Ohio State over the last 5 classes. It's not pretty when you think about 2021, 2020. Michigan had a little better class in 2019 as Urban Meyer was stepping away. Ryan Day was stepping into the role as Ohio State's new coach. They fell back a little bit. Michigan took over it, but Michigan's got 2 top 100 players in the 2021 class. The offensive lineman from the state of Michigan, the quarterback from the state of Illinois. But in 2020 and 2018, 0 top 100 players for Michigan, while Ohio State just had tons of top players. You see the stats here in these 5 recruiting classes, and all these players won't be on the field at the same time, but this is over a 5-year stretch that'll end this coming December, maybe February, just depending on which recruiting period you think is which recruiting day is the real recruiting day. Ohio State, Michigan, 11 players in the top 100 over 5 classes. Ohio State, 44. The top end talent isn't even close. Ohio State, I put this on Twitter a couple days ago. There's a chance if they have one of their receivers stay 4 years, the freshman this year, whose name is escaping me at the moment, but if they have just one guy stay till his senior year, in 2022, they're going to probably start 8 5-stars and have a top 100 player backing up all those 5-stars that they're starting. So think about that for a second. 2 years from now, basically 3 seasons from now, 2020, 2021, the 2022 season, they could have 8 5-stars starting. And each of those 5-stars on offense, 8 5-stars, each one of those guys will be backed up by a player who's also in the top 100. That is absolutely preposterous amount of talent. The gap is widening. Michigan got a couple commits, a nice offensive lineman, and an underrated defensive lineman in the past week to break a 10.5-month streak, but they're not even close to Ohio State at this point. The gap is widening, and I think that's why it's a very popular topic for me, for all you guys out there on the internet. If you like the show, if you like what we're doing, we're not taking breaks. I see Sam Webb is not washing his hands. He's not doing shows as far as I've been told. We are dedicated to bringing you guys shows. We set up the Jamestown studio just so we can. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel. I'll keep videos going all off season long. You might get hit with an ad break here on YouTube. So while you're doing that, scroll below the video, hit that subscribe button. We'll be back here in just a second. All right, next question up, coming from K-Man. I saw this come up on the screen about Webster, so I had to give him a mention there. But what's the deal with Sam Webb? Seems like a lot of people are taking shots at him lately with you being the ringleader. Well, I appreciate you thinking I'm the ringleader, but I don't think this fight needs a ringleader, because this is a longtime Michigan local radio guy, took Scout.com and ran into the ground, got bailed out by 24/7. Now that's the show he's running. But I don't think I need to be the only one being the ringleader. Ohio State guys, they are sick of his BS too. This is Rivals Ohio State writer Alex Gleitman talking about Webb. I just kept getting tagged in this tweet. I jumped into it. I didn't know what the hell was going on. Some guys in the industry, they just spread fake news What I've been telling you that these guys put out, these local media guys for 2 years, have been saying all they are is fake news about how they report on Michigan football. To create a narrative that's favorable to their school. You know who you are. People kept tagging me. I'm like, who's this about? People like Webster. And I just quote tweeted. I said, wow, Sam Webster's lives are finally being called out. This guy is a PR rep from Michigan. He's the definition of fake news. All I'm saying when it comes to Michigan local media, I don't care if you're a fan of the school. I don't care if you live to get free tickets to sit in the press conference to get a $1.50 hot dog for free and a Diet Coke. If that's what you want to do with your Saturday afternoon, that's fine. I had to get drunk and come on the show with you guys afterwards, win, lose, or drop. That's just my thing. So all I ask, and that's why I think people are coming onto my brand of media, is be objective. If Michigan's doing great, you want to drink the Kool-Aid, say Michigan's awesome, that's cool. When they're not, though, you got to say what the truth is there. So if I'm the ringleader of taking down Sam Webb, I guess I'll take the title, but certainly I'm not the only one. If you read the comments in some of these rivals and 24/7 message boards from other schools now, they are sick of him. Webb basically said Ohio State coaching staff are a bunch of liars and they're just lying to kids to get recruits. I don't think they've got a lie, if you ask me, with the kind of results they're pulling up lately. And a lot of that was towards 2021 running back Donovan Edwards. Here's our deal of the day. Michigan football shorts. Chatsports.com/mshorts. I'm always searching for deals to bring to you guys. I don't buy these shirts. They're normally $90. I don't buy them for full price. I wait till they drop to 20, 30, 40% off. When I do, I tell you about them. The website is there. Chatsports.com/mshorts. I put an order for these on Friday for myself. I'll be rocking these bad boys in quarantine because of the big C for the next few weeks. And once we're out of quarantine, you better watch out if you are in a 20-mile radius of where I live. On the basketball streets, because I'm be wearing these puppies and just raining threes in your eyes. Chatsports.com/mshorts to get that discount on these Jordan brand shorts. Next question, Josh Buter 81 on Instagram. Thanks so much for the question. Do you think Harbaugh will ever win a Big Ten title? Got a producer in my ear. Let's just push that. Got my answer right there. No, I just don't think he's going to do it. I mean, I don't want to be, Donald Downer, Debbie Downer, whatever you want to call me, but I just can't see Ohio State taking a step back unless one of two things happen. Crippling sanctions, or Ryan Day takes an NFL job and they make the worst hire in history, and Jim Harbaugh is able to overcome that coaching hire, much like Luke Fickell for a one-year blip in 2011. But if you see the talent disparity, it is widening. It's not getting closer. And the thing that irritates me, looking at the talent gap, it's wider than ever. The thing that's irritating me right now about Jim Harbaugh and this Michigan football program is I read everything about Michigan, okay? I'm seeing what the ex-players are doing. I'm seeing what the guys going for the draft are doing. I'm taking a look at what recruits are saying about Michigan. I'm taking a look at what they're saying on Twitter about Michigan. I have yet to see someone outside of maybe Jim Harbaugh's first season, maybe his first year and a half, that says, holy cow, I walked into Schembecker Hall at 4 a.m. to get a workout in before class, and Jim Harbaugh was in there, painting his face blue, screaming at pictures of Ohio State, doing crazy things, trying to get ready for this game. I don't hear anybody say anything that Jim Harbaugh is focused on this game, and that's what concerns me more than anything. It's not the talent gap, because Michigan dominated Ohio State for 2 decades in the 80s and the 90s with insufficient talent, less talent. Ohio State's always recruited better from Michigan. But the fact there's no focus, you can claim Brady Hoke was a bum, he was a terrible coach. I agree with all those things. But his 4 years, he was a lot more competitive than Jim Harbaugh has been in his 5 seasons as Michigan's coach against Ohio State. He won a game in 2011. He was very close in 2012, went into halftime with a pretty decent lead, kind of blew it in the fourth quarter. 2013, do you not remember? Michigan went for 2 to beat an Ohio State team that was ranked like number 2 in the country, okay? They went for 2 for the game to beat Ohio State. And then in 2014, they were right there. JT Barrett gets hurt, Cardale comes in, Michigan doesn't close the deal, ends up with a 2-touchdown lead. But Brady Hoke won a game, should have won another one in 13, and was right there on the road twice. Jim Harbaugh has had 1 close game in 2016, probably should have won it. And another game where, hey, pat in the back, Jim Harbaugh, you had a nice lead. Okay, you had a nice lead, but you didn't get it done in 2017. Other than that, 3 blowout losses to the Wolverines. I don't think they're going to beat Ohio State. You see the slogan on the screen. You see the countdown clock. I'm counting the days because this is it for me. Harbaugh has no wiggle room. You lose in 2016 or 2020. I'm sorry. I don't care how much favorite Ohio State's going to be. Year 6, I'm not saying he's going to be fired or should be fired. I'm just saying you won't have any more support from me as the coach. David Henderson, great question. It's list season here, okay? We got nothing better to do than talk about speculation and talk about Webster making things up. How about my 5 favorite Michigan football players of all time? It took me a few minutes to think about this. I put it together. I kind of thought to myself, at the best guys, the guys that I was excited for, that I would have considered buying their jersey, the guys that I would have been super pumped up to see play every single Saturday. And number 1 was a pretty easy one. My favorite athlete of all time. Became a close personal friend. We hung out many a times in San Francisco. He probably doesn't remember my name, but I consider him my best friend. Charles Woodson. Number 2, Braylon Edwards. Love Braylon Edwards. He brought me more, joy as a football fan in my adult years. Kind of, he was right around the same age as I was. He was in college the same time I was. Braylon Edwards, really loved watching what Braylon did. If it wasn't for Charles Woodson, he would be on number 1. You take a look at those stats. Basically unbelievable, given that he didn't even play in 2001. It was all stats from 2002 to 2004. His senior year, folks, better stats, catching, receiving, touchdowns in one season than Donovan Peoples-Jones had his entire Michigan career. That's the kind of career Braylon Edwards has. Before I get, though, to my next 3, number 3 through 5, I'm going to ask you guys, go down into the comment section. I'm going to make sure this comment is right there and pinned for you. Who are your 5 favorite players of all time? 5 Michigan football players, favorite guys of all time. And for some of you young kids, it might be Denard Robinson, it might be Devin Bush. Some of you old timers might throw out Ricky Leach or Timberlake. My dad always talks about. Can't remember his first name at the time. Not Justin Timberlake, producer. You talking about Justin Timberlake? No. Bob Timberlake. That's right. So toss him in there. Want to know from you guys. Now I'll hit you through number 3 through 5. A guy that's going to surprise some of you, Steve Breston, wasn't an all-time great at Michigan for a lot of people, right? He was always the number 2 or number 3 receiver. He was number 3 guy in 03 behind Braylon Edwards and, of course, Jason Avant. Same kind of deal in 2004. Those guys were both back. Then 2005, he kind of came into his own, but then got surpassed by Mario Manningham. 06, he was still the old man, a fifth-year senior. Adrian Arrington, Mario Manningham. He was never the 1 or really even the 2 receiver, but he was the best special teams guy I've ever seen in Michigan. And he came through in big-time moments, most specifically for me, that 2004, I guess January 05, Rose Bowl against Texas. Steve Breston, my number 4. Then Drew Henson. Production-wise, doesn't even come close to the players in the screen. Only started 8 games in his career at Michigan. Played majority of 9. He kind of came in the end of the first quarter in that Illinois game. But he sat behind Tom Brady and split time in the first half for, 2 years, but really with the 99 season. Then came into the 2000 season with the most explosive Michigan offense probably in my lifetime. Got hurt in fall camp, missed the first 4 games, and was let down by an executing defense. I love watching Drew Henson. I think talent-wise, he was the best player I ever saw on the offensive side of the ball in the University of Michigan uniform. And number 5, the kid I kind of first really knew as a young kid watching Michigan football in the state of Ohio, Tyrone Wheatley, that 1992 season Rose Bowl. Right after Desmond Howard left, Tyrone Wheatley became the guy I focused on for the Heisman candidate in 93 and in 94. Kind of got derailed by injuries. Wasn't really a true contender by the end of the year in either one of those years. But that's my top 5. Comment your top 5. You see my others. Shea Patterson. Couldn't leave out my boy Shea. Team Shea. Denard Robinson. Ernest Shazar, underappreciated that 2004 season. He was a dominant force as Michigan safety. One more time. It's the shorts. I'm going to be rocking probably on the show pretty soon if we're still filming here. 20% off right now, chatsports.com/mshorts. I'll put it in the comments. I'll put it near the top of this video description here on YouTube. I'll also tweet it out later on Monday. So follow me on Twitter at James Yoder. We're going to have more Michigan football report shows for you all Big C season long. You know what the Big C is. I'm not saying the word because YouTube will probably block this video. But make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit this button right here. If you missed my show on Friday, I've got it for you right here. If you missed my show on Monday, I've got it for you right here. Till next time, go Blue.